No, this is not a joke, man. This is not a joke. I booked Israel Adesanya's next fight. I just got his next fight put into works now. What's going to happen is I put down the soccer ball. Dolidze kicked it, and he might have scored. Listen, this makes the most sense for Israel Adesanya, so I'm not upset about this fight. I posted a tweet. Sometimes I forget that like a lot of my tweets that I post, they do get a lot of interactions. But this tweet I did tag Roman Dolidze because I was like, our wrestling keeps evolving. We want Dolidze next, sign the contract. I really wanted that fight for Israel Adesanya. Now, if you didn't know, Dolidze is riding a 3-fight win streak. Adesanya is riding a 3-fight L streak now. It makes sense on paper. Since Israel Adesanya isn't looking the best, people are going to say, dude, he's not in prime form anymore. He's going to lose to Joe Schmo, this, that, and all these bums. Okay, brother, let's see, brother. Listen, Imavov was doing good. Well, let's be real. Imavov wasn't doing all that great before the finish. Yes, he had that clean uppercut, but I swear, if you rewatch the fight, you can see Israel Adesanya just doing Adesanya things, and then he got eye poked and caught. Now, I'm not making excuses. Imavov, he was the better man on the night. The eye poke, it did him justice. I'm not even coping. This is not cope. Then DDP fight before that, I thought he was doing good work. Then he got finished. So it's looking like Adesanya lately, people are starting to just count him out. Oh, he's a bum, dude. Yeah, man, I don't know. Adesanya's not as cowabunga as he used to be, bro. He just doesn't have it like that. Well, okay, let's put that to the test. I think Dolidze, like, people might say he's a bum, but he's a big, strong guy, and he's a good grappler. And I think this fight's interesting. And what I did to Dolidze thinks he's 200 IQ, bro. Like, he saw my tweet, then he responded, let's go. Like, in his head, he's like, yeah, I got him, bro. Because he saw what I tweeted. In the tweet, I showed Izzy wrestling. So he's falling into the lull of that, like, Adesanya is going to go in there and just wrestle him. Bro, you fell for my trap. There's a reason I put him wrestling, look, showing beautiful takedowns and shit like that, because I know Dolidze is going to be like, oh, so you want to wrestle? Okay, let's wrestle. Brother, once you enter that ring, get ready for a 25-minute. Well, you're not going to last 25 minutes because you're a gas tank. I'm sorry. It doesn't look the best to me. You're going to get finished somewhere in that fight. But you got gaslit by me. This is why I'm a tier 1 manipulator and gaslighter, bro. I love when I do this to fighters, bro. I put the low in their head of, oh man, I could take this guy. His wrestling sucks. And then you get in the ring and then you're getting blasted by low kicks. You're like, oh shit, what's happening right now? I thought we were gonna wrestle. Listen, if you want to wrestle, let's wrestle. Stall it then. People always glazing Dolidze's grappling. Dolidze's a great grappler, chat. I'm not gonna take that away from him. I know he's a great grappler. Adesanya has great takedown defense. You're not going to take down and maul Adesanya. Dolidze is definitely not going to do it. Dolidze is the type to shoot himself out and then fatigue, then just get finished on the feet. But Dolidze did beat Marvin Vettori. Who the hell could beat Marvin Vettori? That guy's a marauder, bro. Listen, man, this fight makes sense. Like, Dolidze, masterclass against Vettori. Vettori's known as, like, just, having a hard head. Like, listen, you beat someone who has a hard head. That's not easy to do. So, his striking looked, it looked like Dolidze striking in that fight. He didn't really grapple to his best extent because his grappling just sometimes doesn't use it. I don't know. But I'm assuming against Adesanya, he's going to be shooting for the fences, and I think that's going to do him justice, man. Let's be real, chat. He's going to get the shit kicked out of him. And this just makes the most sense for Izzy. And people are saying this is a step down for Izzy. No, it's not. If you think about it, I'm not going to say it's a step up. I was about to say some bullshit, but let me pick my words appropriately. It's not a step up for Izzy, but like I said, 3-fight losing streak versus a 3-fight winning streak on paper, you would lean the guy who's riding momentum, because momentum's a real thing in the UFC, you know what I'm saying? I feel as if when momentum is occurring at a high rate and someone is kind of looking like they're falling off, the guy with the momentum 9 times out of 10 gets it done. Now, of course, Volkanovski kind of broke that up after getting knocked out back to back. He kind of cleaned up Lopez, who just wasn't on his level. I think this is similar situation for Izzy. Like, yeah, you lost to DDP, who I think is pretty, like, not pretty good. He's really good. Lost to Imavov, who's one of the best strikers. Now you're going against Dolidze. Like, Dolidze is going to be, it's just like Volkanovski was for Lopez. Dolidze is for Izzy. Now, people might be like, Dolidze is way worse than Lopez. But Lopez really didn't do shit. Like, Lopez was getting his ass kicked by like the best fighters and still got the title shot. Dolidze, he's riding momentum, but he's just not that. Nothing about Dolidze sticks out on paper aside from his grappling outside the octagon. But when he goes in the octagon, his grappling still doesn't look all that great, to me at least. I know other people can have mixed emotions and mixed opinions about that, but that's just my opinion. Now, you're going against Adesanya, who's a seasoned vet, who I feel like stylistically has the advantage everywhere aside from the grappling. But as I can show, as you're seeing the tweet, bro, his grappling's evolving. Adesanya's not the same grappler he was. I mean, Adesanya was never a bad grappler. I don't even know what rep I'm trying to do. He's really never been a bad grappler. Yeah, he got submitted once. Even the sequence that DDP got the finish, he kind of rocked him on the feet first. Like, he had some momentum on the feet before he pulled him and dragged him on the ground with his fucking big-ass muscles, and then he jumped on him and submitted him. I don't see Dolidze having any success at all. Like, he's too slow. Like, the one thing about Imavov I knew before the fight is his hand speed is just a lot faster than Izzy. I said in my predictions. I said the only thing I was ever worried about was the first 2 rounds for Izzy because of hand speed. I didn't think Izzy was going to get knocked out because I thought his chin was pretty good. And I just think Imavov, like, landed the perfect shot, and the follow-up shot was what did it. You know, but I look at Dolidze, I don't see no hand speed that's threatening. I see a very slow, clobby, you know, probably physically strong. So, like, he's like a Marvin Vettori with a little bit more output. Like, even he beat Marvin Vettori, but I think Izzy's going to play with him and diddle him up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rio Badman style. This is my opinion, brother. It's going to be one of those performances. At the end of the fight, Izzy just gets up and says, dale, brother. And he's saying the dale and, like, you know, like 287 knockout, you know. And people are going to say this win doesn't mean anything, but no, it means a lot because Dolidze, like I said, is starting to get into the title picture, whether you like it or not. Middleweight, it's a decently stacked division, but, like, it doesn't take too much to get back in the title picture. If Dolidze beats Izzy, he's in the title picture. Is he going to beat Izzy, though? Brother, let's find out, brother. Let's go. Let's wrestle. Let's stall it then, brother. I'll wrestle. I'll strike. It doesn't matter, brother. You know, we're dangerous in Nigeria, brother. Nigerian Dagestanis, brother. You know, this is what we rep, you know. I'm ready, Dolidze. You fell for my trap. Listen, I got to play matchmaker more often, bro. I be forgetting. Like, I could low-key really be, like, pushing for a lot of fights. I got to make a tweet about Buckley, like, soon. Talk about Buckley and Usman. Just so I can get Usman back in the picture with Buckley. You know, I'm going to start using my Twitter following to matchmake because the UFC sucks at it, bro. The UFC absolutely blows at it. So yeah, Izzy versus Dolidze matchup. I don't know because I seen in the Tim Welch podcast that Izzy said he kind of wants to run it back with Strickland, and I saw that, and it makes sense as well. Like, I get why Izzy wants that back. It's just like, yeah, like I wouldn't mind it. It's just like Izzy is coming off losses, and so is Strickland, but I want Izzy to be someone riding momentum, so like he could just, you know, just be back in the fray, and then after that you can fight Strickland. You know, Strickland kind of hasn't done much. He's like, what, 1-2 in his last 3. His only win was Paulo Costa. Like, I don't even know how Strickland got the title shot, bro. Just Dana White privilege. But yeah, I think the Dolidze Izzy fight is probably gonna happen next, and I feel like it's all thanks to me. So chat, if this fight gets booked, brother, you know, this is good. This is a W for the MMA YouTube community. Like, we're booking fights now, chat. We're getting fights booked. We're getting fights done. I do think this fight's going to be booked next. It did make sense after Dolidze beat Vettori, just the way he beat him, and just the win streaks. Like I said, the win streaks and the losing streaks. So people might say skill-wise or like name value-wise, it doesn't make sense. But if you really think about it rankings-wise, this is I'm not going to say a favor to Izzy, but this is a good thing for Izzy to get him back in there against someone who's riding momentum, you know. And it's not like a wicked young guy, you know. They're both a little bit, you know, not the older side, but they're both like they're 30s, early mid 30s, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this fight is the fight to make, and it is going to be made, and I think Izzy's going to put the beats on him. Dr. Dre, hands on him, brother, lots of bass. But this is not it I want to talk about in this video, because I also made a tweet. In the tweet I posted yesterday, Borralho kind of just exposes the fight that he has booked for 317, and this is what he says. Well, he doesn't say anything, but look at his mouth in this video. I want you guys to see, so I'm gonna move my camera a little bit just so you can see Imavov, just to see Borralho and see what he mouthed to DC in this clip.
What do you fight? June 28th. Against? Excited. Big time. That's like number one contender. But no one knows yet. Yeah,
no one knows yet, brother. Unfortunately, people can read lips. I kind of feel bad for him because I know he's gonna get kind of in trouble for this, but like he just made it so obvious. Like, look how obvious he made this mouthing of the words.
28. Against. Excited.
Once you see someone do this, you know the V's coming. And Imavov, I can't think of any other ranked contender who's going to get him a number one contender fight like DC said. Oh, that's for the number one contender. But what's good about this, people said Imavov, oh, dude, this makes no sense for Imavov. Honestly, I see that point of view because you guys are pretty much like saying like Imavov has done enough. He doesn't really need to go backwards and fight at Borralho. Like, he just knocked out Adesanya. And it makes sense. But the good thing about this, he's not really wasting time because this will be on 317. And we already have an idea, chat. We already kind of know Hamza versus DDP is going to be the main event for 317. The co-main is going to be Kaikar France Pantoja. And this fight's now going to be on 317. So this is the good thing about this. If you're fighting on the same card as the champion and you know that's your automatic next fight, that does one and two things. first thing it does is it guarantees the title shot. Like Imavov, I would always say is guaranteed the title shot, but you never know. If someone wins a fight, they go, oh, well, this guy won more recently, let's give it instead of Imavov. That's what happened if Imavov would have sat out and not been active. But the fact that he's fighting on an undercard of a main event that's going to be Dricus and Khamzat, it literally solidifies it and makes no questions or no room for anything. Secondly, I think it keeps Imavov busy. Like, the one dangerous thing that could have happened to Imavov is he knocks out Izzy and, like, he plays the fucking Michael Chandler role. I'm not fighting anymore unless it's a title shot. Like, that stupid shit that people be doing. I hate that, brother. Yeesh. That shit gets me mad. Like, I'm just not going to fight until I get the title shot. Like, it's just risky. Ilya's trying to do it, too. I think Ilya's going to end up getting a fight because they don't want him to do that because he's a superstar. But, yeah, I feel like Imavov, if he would have done that, because I think he was thinking of doing that, it would have kind of just been a little bit more negative than positive for him, because I feel like fighters need to kind of be in there so when they get back in the ring, he could be ready. Because if Imavov were to sit out and not fight Borralho, I feel as if, you know, Dricus or Khamzat, whoever he's going to fight, I think it's going to be Khamzat, they'll just be riding momentum. And if Khamzat goes in there and cleans up Dricus, holy fuck. And let me tell you the bad side about this, especially because Khamzat will be the main event. If Khamzat goes in there and cleans up Dricus like the way we kind of think that is definitely a possibility, because let's be real, chat. If you are picking Khamzat, you probably, I'll just say probably, see him going in there in the first round and kind of going in there and whooping him and leaving scotch-free. The bad part about that is if Borralho and Imavov go to war, and then Khamzat kind of goes in there and wipes him, the recovery period for whoever wins the Borralho and Imavov fight's going to kind of suck for them. And then Khamzat's going to be all recovered and ready to go. When that next fight gets booked, I feel like the damage that last guy took in the other fight could be to their detriment. That's the only negative part. And what's sad about that could very much be a reality, chat. Like I said, I think Dricus is one of the hardest fights to anyone. But Khamzat's one of those, like I told you guys, generational talents equate to Khamzat like being so much better than his opposition. He goes in there like a real bad man. I want to smash, you know, just go home to family, smash these guys, brother. This is what he's gonna try to do, brother. You know, he's gonna try to go in there and fight DDP the way he fights everyone else. He's not gonna go in there and hesitantly like, stick and move against DDP, dude. Stick and move. He's not gonna do that shit because he's gonna lose if he does that, in my opinion. And yeah, and that's going to just be a tough luck for Borralho and Imavov if Khamzat does get it done early. Or the contrast would be, or the opposite would be, you know, them going to war and DDP scraping out a win. But the thing about that is if DDP wins, it's going to be a tough fight. So I feel like Imavov or Borralho would probably hope for DDP to win, because I feel like no one wants to go against Khamzat. Imavov against Khamzat would just be a very hard fight for Imavov, you know. Even Borralho, like, listen, Khamzat's just a different type of grappler, isn't he? As for Imavov, Borralho, like, who do I would think would win? Like, I've been thinking about this fight. I'll probably do a stylistic breakdown when it gets confirmed sometime in the future, because it's going to be confirmed, because this goofball already confirmed it. I honestly feel as if Borralho's good. He's a pretty sound striker. His grappling's actually pretty slept on. I saw a footage of him like rolling and like actually not rolling, actually competing against Charleston Almeida in a grappling match. Almeida did win off of like just escapes and stuff, but it was a very competitive match. Like Borralho's grappling's very slept on. He just doesn't use it too much, and I feel like his entries for his takedowns are a little bit weak from what I've seen so far. He did good. They both did good work against Cannonier. I would argue Borralho did better work. I do think Imavov got an early stoppage on Cannonier. You know, especially because Cannonier like has really good recovery. But I will say that Imavov's hand speed is distinctly quicker than Borralho. But Borralho's in and out style, he'd have a harder time implementing that against someone like Imavov. Whereas Jared Cannonier, you can implement that a little bit better because sometimes he can be flat-footed on his feet and lack head movement. Whereas I feel like Imavov's really quick and he's just as in and out. And I think he's gonna have the speed. I know he's gonna have the speed advantage over Borralho in the strikes. And sometimes in Borralho's fights, he falls into the low of just having a straight kickboxing match, and that's not gonna serve him well against an Imavov. So like, you know, early pick, I'll probably lean Imavov. I will watch more footage. I'm sure Borralho's going to try to grapple. Imavov can grapple too. People forget Imavov is able to grapple. People are just overrating Imavov's grappling going into the Izzy fight. Oh yeah, he's going to take down Izzy. He's going to hold Izzy against the fence. Shut the fuck up. You guys did not know shit. But I do know Imavov is a good grappler. One thing about Imavov though is that when he does get taken down, you can control him. Like when he's on his back, you can control him. But he's not easy to take down necessarily. Like if you time a weak takedown, like sometimes Borralho be doing, Imavov will do a good job sprawling you and he'll make you pay. Like Imavov, if you've seen the Brendan Allen fight, his takedown defense is on point. But when he does get taken down, anything can happen to him. That's the one thing I have noticed. But like, is Borralho gonna shoot absurdly? Probably not. He's probably gonna fall into the low of kickboxing. And even there, I see Imavov having an advantage there. I think Imavov in the clinch as well is really better than Borralho as well. He just does a good job with elbows and knees and punches in the clinch. I overall think Imavov is just the better fighter, but I do think, Borralho's tough, and I'm sure that fight will be interesting, but I don't know, like, if I had to put bread on someone, I'm definitely going to lean Imavov, but yeah, I'm going to have to lean Imavov. But if you think about it, chat, these are 2 fights in the middleweight division that are likely going to get booked, and, this is good. Like, these 2 fights are good. I honestly feel like Imavov versus Izzy, not Imavov versus Izzy, I think Imavov versus Roman is a good fight just to see where Izzy's at in his career, because we gotta find out if Izzy loses, chat. This is, like, I'm sorry, it's your last fight. I just can't get behind you losing to Dolidze, of all people. Imavov, I could swallow that pill because Imavov is pretty good. I've been saying Imavov is a future champion even before he fought Izzy, so I'm not salty about that. But losing to Dolidze, brother, that's not a real bad man thing. You get me, bro? That's not real bad men aren't losing to Dolidze. You put me in the ring with Dolidze, chat, I'm sticking moving, bro. You be shooting for the fences, bro. I'm stuffing that shit. You feel me? So Izzy can't. This is literally do or die for Izzy, which I want to see Izzy in that situation. If he knows if he loses, bro, you're packing it up, dude. Are you going to lose, brother, upset your fans a little bit, or are you going to win? Be careful, Izzy. Be careful. And then this fight right here, like, if I'm Borrahlo, I'm jumping up and down and saying yippee, because you didn't really deserve this on paper, but I'm also happy that Imavov's taking another fight because I don't want him to have lackluster activity. So this is a good thing for both guys, trust me. I know people are upset about it at first, but I think Imavov's going to be grateful when he knows it's going to keep him active against a pretty sound contender. And after beating Borralho, his stock's going to go way up. And they're not going to be like, oh, you only beat Izzy because of eye poking shit. They'll actually be like, oh, you actually beat this guy who's a sound contender. But listen, this is my overall early predictions on some of these fights. And, Matchmaker Kenny's in the building, brother. I'm going to start using my Twitter more. I'm going to start booking fights because, brother, Izzy, I just got Izzy's win. You know what's going to be funny? I got Izzy's first. I'm going to be the guy who gets Izzy back in the win column, baby. Yeah, baby, I did it. I did it, man. It was me, bro. I did. I'm taking credit after Izzy beats him up. I got Izzy his win, brother. I deserve this, brother. This is why I'm his #1 fan, brother. Dale, brother. But let me know what you guys think down below. That's it for me, and God bless. 2, 3.